Hey guys, Omni here. We are back for episode 7 of House of the Dragon season 1. Last episode, we had a massive time jump. We got to catch up with everybody, and whew, there's been a lot of kids having. There's been a lot of friction of brewing in the last years that I would like to have seen. I do think that I recall that the producers, the showrunners, all that had wanted the last episode to actually be where the show started, but the previous 5 episodes that we saw up before that was them just like, maybe we should give a little backstory. I'm wondering how that would have actually played out if we went in that alternate timeline where that was the first episode, how that would have played. I'm interested in seeing where things go from here, because the divide is just growing larger and larger every time we check in with these characters. And even now, after this play by Larry's, oh my lord, man. The world is tumbling, at least in King's Landing, around Rhaenyra. And she's like, I gotta get the hell out of here. So I'm curious to see how this evolves. We saw a retreat to Dragonstone. There's this ploy to get Otto Hightower back into King's Landing, as then returning to his appointment as the Hand of the King after the murder of the current Hand of the King. So I don't know, man. I just want to see where this thing goes. So we're going to go ahead and hop in. If you want to see the full-length reaction, remember you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, it gets you access to that as well. It is a watch-along format, so you can just see your own footage with the time code, see my reaction to the entire episode. Got the same thing for all the other shows we cover here on the channel. You also get to put forth suggestions and then vote on what movies we react to each month. We got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage. I try to make it worth your while since you are going out of your way to support the channel. But of course, I know now we can do that, and a simple way you can help us out is just by liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing these videos, because it really does go a long way with helping the channel grow here, and I really love having new people come into the community. That said, if it is your first time, I hope you enjoy this reaction. If you do, maybe you'll stick around and hit that subscribe button. Anyway, guys, that all said, let's go ahead and hop into episode 7. Here we go. The fuck? Wow. I feel so bad for her too. Oh wow. Ooh. Why the fuck was Damon laughing about that?
We have nothing in common.
She's our sister.
You marry her then.
I would perform my duty if Mum had only betrothed us.
If only.
It would strengthen the family, keep our Valyrian blood pure.
She's an idiot.
She's your future queen.
She's pretty fucking smart, actually. She just has her obsessions. This guy.
Lionel's strong son's been staring at you since the moment we arrived, Your Grace.
It is only a look of pride, Sir Criston. Larys is the new Lord of Harrenhal.
And I wouldn't say put him there, because he took some choice words you had and then just went off and did his own thing under your banner.
Brother will be king, of course. He'll sit on endless councils and ceremonies. The Lord of the Tides rules the sea.
I don't want it.
I'm sorry, what was that? You don't want it? I know they pranked him and stuff, but he seems to at least have like a somewhat kind of a soul, just from these little expressions here and there. It's the older one that's a little more rash and Joffrey-ish. I wouldn't dare compare him to Joffrey just yet at all, but you never know. More Daemon-like, maybe rather. And between this and the wedding scene, it's just interesting to watch and try to read what's going through everybody's head as they are trying to navigate and pry and gaze into everybody's kind of like moves, motions, tactics, chess places. Like, it's pretty interesting.
Seems they've been especially cruel to you.
Yes.
Like, everybody is a predator stalking a prey, but the other prey is also a predator. It's so interesting.
There's a place for you in my court. That's something you should need.
I need nothing.
Brother.
Oh. I think I know why he laughed. Because they were talking about how strong their blood is, their bond, how let it never thin, and all that. And I think that was him having a little bit of a gut reaction to how he feels about everything else that's going on with him, Viserys, Rhaenyra, how that has thinned. Those connections do thin, and sometimes it can't be helped. And he was just like, because he's just so upset with how things have played out. So that's one of the reasons I think he's ran from Westeros. Because he does deeply love his family, but like he feels so disconnected from it as well. And he's never taken seriously or given a serious thought. We saw the dragons in that one shot. We hear them every now and then, but then they're just in the clouds or out of frame. That one, like, it was a really gorgeous shot. I feel like some of them haven't seen a clear view of, and it was just like, I don't know, I loved it.
It's not justice for your wife that drives you, it is your own ambition. I gave up the idea of wearing a crown a generation ago. It is you, Lord Husband, who refuses to abandon this pursuit, even now at the cost of our children.
Ooh. Everybody's a little stressed. Been not a great day. Let's relax.
I want Driftmark to pass through Laena's line to Baelor.
And disinherit our son.
He will be the king consort.
You would have me cast an even darker shadow over those little boys than already exists.
Rhaenyra's children are not of your blood, but Laena's are.
History does not remember blood. It remembers names.
Damn. Damn, man.
We did try to conceive a child. We performed our duty as best we could, but to no avail.
Okay, I see. So they did try.
It's a ghost story. One Sir Otto and the Queen would gladly exploit.
I do not believe Alicent's capable of cold murder.
I don't either, but that's where somebody else definitely stepped in.
I'm no longer a child.
I mean, if they have a child, that one might actually have hair that matches the Targaryen aesthetic. Might dissuade some of the dissuasion. The hell? What's he doing? I couldn't make it. It was too dark. I couldn't make out the fuck he was looking at. Is he spying on them or something else? Oh no, wait. Is it Vhagar? Yo. It's big, it's biggin'. Oh my god. So huge, man. I love the sound design for it too, because its breath, its bones, the sound and air around it gives it this like old creaky building kind of feel to it. This ancient feeling to this one, and kind of sells its scale. Dude, jokes on his brothers after that prank with the pig. This'll shut some fucking faces up. He's like, motherfucker, I was sleeping. Man, this thing's so wicked. Yeah, it's like, get the fuck off. I love that it's got like that slowness that comes with its size to its animation. God, that could have killed him. Just think if he got a beak right in the eye. Damn, man, this is an awesome scene though.
Someone stole Vhagar. Wow.
I love the ancient feeling to this one, man. To Vhagar. Everything about its design, its sound, promotes that.
Vhagar is my mother's dragon. Your mother's dead. Vhagar has a new rider now.
She was mine to claim.
Then you should have claimed her. Maybe your cousins can find you a pig to ride. It would suit you.
Oh. Oh!
Come at me again and I'll feed you to my dragon.
Jesus!
You will die screaming in flames just as your father did. He doesn't know, does he? All strong.
God damn. I thought he was the sensible one, but I think he's on a power high at the moment. Then again, they also did bully the fuck out of him. Oh! Oh! Oh!
It will heal, will it not, Maester?
The flesh will heal.
Ooh, wow.
Who did this?
They attacked me! He attacked Baylor! Bring me down!
Dave was like, the fuck is going on here?
No.
Silence!
Yeah, I'm sorry, Alicent. Your son was being a little shitbag.
Vile insults were levied against them.
What insults?
Mm-hmm.
Called us bastards.
Oh, look at that smirk on his face.
I do not know, Your Grace.
Entertaining his young squires, adventure.
Wow, we're just gonna keep slinging dirt everywhere right now, man. In the middle of this situation.
Your king demands an answer. Who spoke these lies to you?
Mm-hmm.
It was Aegon.
Aegon?
Me.
Oh, great.
Where did you hear such calumnies?
Aegon! Tell me the truth of it!
We know. Everyone knows. Just look at them.
We are a family! Now make your apologies and show goodwill to one another.
That is insufficient.
Your kids are still just as much blood as they are.
What do you have me do?
There is a debt to be paid. I shall have one of her son's eyes in return. If the king will not seek justice, the queen will. Sir Criston, bring me the eye of Viserys Velaryon.
Mother!
Alicent,
He can choose which eye to keep, a privilege he did not grant my son.
You will do no such thing.
stay your hand.
No, you have sworn to
Oh
me!
my lord.
As your protector, my queen.
This matter is finished. Let it be known. Anyone whose tongue dares to question the birth of Princess Rhaenyra's sons should have it removed.
Oh!
Alicent, stay with the king! Hold your ground! Do not separation! Stay your hand, Paul!
Alicent's lost her shit.
Exhausting, wasn't it? Hiding beneath the cloak of your own righteousness. Now they see you as you are.
Kristen was up here all like, yeah, I'll take a kid's eye. Her lines are drawn. Fuck, man. I sympathized with Alicent at one point in time. Not anymore, man.
I've never seen that side of you, my daughter.
He's like oddly proud.
I even doubted its existence.
It was an ugly thing, I regret it.
We play an ugly game, and now for the first time I see that you have the determination to win it.
Rhaenyra.
You see her for what she is. Keep a grip on your passions. And I promise you in time, you and I together will prevail.
This is such a fucking sneaky shit. Yeah, where you been, bud? You missed a lot.
I should have been there.
They should be our house words.
Hmm.
I had hoped to bear your children.
I hate the gods for making me as they did.
I do not. You are an honorable man with a good heart. It's a rare thing.
If it's an eye you want to balance the scales.
Shut the fuck up. Jesus, stop it. I'll get you the child's eye.
That will not be necessary.
Yeah, you need to be fucking clear with this guy right now.
These are dangerous times.
Yeah. With you, get the fuck out of here.
The day will doubtless come when I require such a friend. With not only skill.
Like, imagine if you were just hanging out, you were heated, it was like a workplace incident, you're like talking about it with your friends, you're like, man, if only such and such would blah, blah, blah. And then you wake up the next day and that weird ass friend just like, comes in holding a fucking head. It's like, there you go, work will be fine today. The fuck? Like, chill, God. Like, you told me to. No, I didn't. There it is, the greens.
We could not marry unless Leonor were dead.
I know.
No. I'm not okay with that.
What are you asking of me, my lord? A quick death. One with witnesses.
Wow. I don't think that's what Leonor had in mind when he had that conversation.
You have always looked down on me.
I do love Leonor.
And grant him this kindness.
Oh, God.
This will cost Lord Corlys and Princess Rhaenys their only remaining child.
We will know the truth of it, and our enemies won't.
They will fear what else we might be capable of.
Wow. How much time did they let elapse before they did this? Well, I'm not rooting for anybody anymore. Everybody just needs to go fuck themselves. Just watch this fucking dumpster fire unfold. Man, just seeing like everybody else just be the pawns of everybody's game It hurts sometimes. It does. I'm not gonna lie. So cold. Wait. Whoa! Never mind! Let there be witnesses. They burned somebody so they could run away across the narrow sea to be together. That was what oh, never mind. I feel a little bit better about that now. Oh my god. Oh, I was like, that's so fucking such a 180 for Rhaenyra, man. I mean, I get like she's ambitious and protective and fiery. But that just seemed like a little bit much. God, I'm so happy, at least. Oh, the way they framed that and set that up, they had me really eating it up. But Coriolis, well, they won't know he's alive, sadly, for this story to unfold or catch wind. So he's probably going to still blame them. Obviously, probably going to still blame them. I don't know. I don't know if you could bring them into the conversation and still sell the lie. Though, I mean, the more people you invite into the lie, the more likely it is to break. Which Rhaenyra's already got enough of those to begin with. But, like, damn, I feel so bad for Corlys. This has been just a shit week for his family. Damn, man. They lost Vhagar, lost their daughter, lost their son. Oh, man. This was such a wild episode, man. You know, it started off slow, somber with the funeral and the awkwardness of the aftermath of that, and everybody just trying to find their place, find their people in this mass of strangers, and even people that they know but they're estranged from. Like, it's like everybody takes their corner of the room, and anytime somebody tries to interact, there's like a barrier. Like, even with Viserys and the situation that he's been in all this time, and the way that they had left things with him and Daemon in the end, he still tried to approach him. He's one of the only people, only major player that approached anybody. And oddly enough, I wouldn't even call him the player. He's just kind of like a game piece that everybody else is moving around. You know, much like chess. You know, you usually don't have your king out moving around and stuff. Everybody dances around him and does their game. But, like, he tries to approach Daemon, like, with all this fracturing that's going on, try to, like, mend that bridge. And Daemon's just not having it. Rhaenyra and Daemon finally kind of bring together that thing that they've been hinting at and alluding at and playing with all this time. And I'm glad that at least she's at this point in her life when this is happening. And, you know, it makes it a little less icky. But they are a powder keg couple. God, man. They're scary. Those two together will be interesting. Alicent, though, has just like been cracking under the pressure of her station. You've been seeing it all the way up. Like, I sympathize with her for such a long time, because like she's been put in these positions where she never wanted to be. Like, we saw her like tearing at her nails, you know, her anxieties, the pressure of her house, of her responsibilities to be with this man and bear his children that she didn't really love, and to just play her part. While Rhaenyra is just off gallivanting, getting everything she wants, you know, that causes that rift to just kind of begin. And then the betrayals, the lies, the doubt, the dishonor, the disloyalty just keeps fracturing that. And then the separation of her father from the keep and from the hand position and all that, it just keeps building and building. And then we have a huge time skip where lots of stuff has been happening, and then her children are pretty much just her and her children in Viserys' eyes are just secondary in the long term. And they don't have like the attention, the discipline, or anything of that nature, especially not the firstborn, Aegon. He's just kind of running off, gallivanting, doing the shit he wants and not taking any of it seriously. So that's another frustration on her part, is all these things are building and building and building. And then her and Kristen, after the betrayal of Rhaenyra and him, it's just been like this echo chamber where they're just feeding into one another. And then after what happened in the previous episode with Larry's, it's just like Alicent's trapped in this thing where she can't really get out. But now she's also got her father, and she's being encouraged, and she's having these things, and she's just like, I'm proud of her in the fact that like she's got her confidence, but now she's like, it's almost Cersei levels of like losing her shit over her kids. Like, and I get that. That's how it is generally. Like if somebody hurts your kids, regardless of who's responsible, you're like, I want blood. Like that's usually the way that goes. But like, yeah, man, after Aemon went out and got that dragon, which was a bold ass move. And after everything that he's been doing, after the shit he's been getting and all that stuff, I was kind of like rooting for him. I was like, oh, I get it. He's a little underdog kid. He's going to do something for himself. A little weird that he's going to steal their dragon or claim their dragon on the day of the previous rider's funeral at that location where the funeral's being held is a little bit of a bitch move. But it's a power inducing thing for the kid that was like, hey, everybody was making fun of him. Nobody believed in him. He was just kind of soft, quiet, introverted. And this is him claiming that power. But then he got a taste of that power and rode that high and went and just started fucking around. And he fucked around and he found out. Yeah, he started beating up the little girls, beating up the boys, about to bash one of them in the head with a rock, and rightfully so, got some pocket sand and then a knife to the eye. So yeah, he at least owned up to that in the end after everything, after having the king in his face and his brother being interrogated, after the blood was drawn in the thing with Alicent just like just like trying to fucking harpy screeching at her just to murder her right then and there. Like that's where I drew the line when Alicent was like, I'm just gonna straight up fucking kill Rhaenyra right here. That's where I was like, okay, you've just snapped. Like, oh, and I was like, no, I want one of the baby eyes. Give me their eye. Kristen was like, gotcha, I'm on it. And that whole scene in there, the tension was just like so thick. And Daemon was just like, might as well had a bowl of popcorn. He was just leaned up against the wall like, this is some crazy shit. He loves anarchy, man. He loves this shit. He eats it up, quite literally. But yeah, I completely lost all that sympathy in that moment for her when she just like flew across that room with the dagger to just go at her herself. And in that moment, like only after all that transpired though, that's when Aemon was like, no, it's fine. It's fair. I lost an eye. I instigated it. I lost an eye, but I got a dragon. That's more than a fair trade. The largest and oldest dragon in existence right now. Oh, man. I don't know where this is going to go, man. It's wild. I love seeing all this stuff transpire, but the Laenor stuff, I was so on edge about all of that, man. You know, I'm so glad Rhaenyra's ambition doesn't compromise at least her bonds to those around her. Like, she legitimately does care for Laenor. And like he had talked about before, he just wanted to go off sailing, he wanted to go adventuring, wanted to just leave all of his woes behind. He hates his station, hates his responsibility. And she kind of gave him that at the expense of his parents and their allegiance, their loyalties, their happiness, you know? And it's not like they accepted him for who he was either. So there is that freedom. She was freeing him in a way. I'm so glad that that was the way that turned out and she wasn't actually just going to off him for gain. That was a good little moment. So like, especially for them to use his current lover to get at him would have been so shitty. But if the lover went along with it, I don't remember his name, so I apologize for coding him as such. But like, I was like, oh wow, that's all this is to you? For a second when he went in there and just like, yeah, I'll take the money. I'll run away if I do the deed. Like, come on, man. Damn, doesn't mean nothing. But no, it was a whole... the way they framed that to really catch me off guard really worked. It's Game of Thrones, man. I'll believe it. You can probably get me with that every time with how this show goes. But I'm glad we at least kind of got like a happy close to that with the reveal that he just shaved his head. They burned a corpse. It's not like they have DNA profiling or dental records they can check and match up. I don't know who they killed. Was it the kid they knocked out that was in there beforehand? I don't know. Had to be somebody of at least equal height. That they had to put in his garb and stuff and just set fire to it. But like, whoever that poor schmuck was, I feel bad for who that person was. But like, yeah, I'm glad he gets to go off, be free, love who he loves, and not have that pressure on him anymore. And it also frees up Rhaenyra to pursue what she needs to pursue and make the strides and allegiances that she made. Like when he was like, you deserve a husband that's here for you or whatever. He was like, yeah, I'll be a good husband to you, or you need one, or whatever that whole line was. I really like that moment where he acknowledged his disconnect from the whole situation after failing to consummate any of that, or not consummate though, because they did consummate, but he failed to actually conceive any children for them to actually strengthen their legitimacy. So in a way, they really helped each other. Like even from that very first bond where they made that pact together to help each other, they're carrying that through. I don't know. It's just like there's some integrity to these characters, at least on that side, that holds up some ways. Viserys, man, I feel so bad for him, but I relate a little bit with him just trying to keep the peace and not wanting to get involved in the drama and just wants everybody to be happy. And then meanwhile, life is just tearing him apart. But yeah, man. Otto coming in and just encouraging Alicent, actually being proud of her, just like snapping, expressing herself, like thinking she was just this little mouse forever trapped in a little cage and all that, and she showed her fangs, and he was like, atta girl. I don't know, man. It's crazy, man. Guys, what do you think of the episode? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Feel free to join us in our Discord. We could talk about it there as well. Links to that in all my socials in the description box below. Follow me in each and every one of those. Remember, if you want to see the full-length reaction, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, gets you access as well. Before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends, Manny Sherritt, Ryan Karen, Philly Vane, Yori, Corey Scott, Margaret Grace, Melita, Robert Anguiano, Raven McCann, Status Alive, Jeffrey Hale, and M. Sephiroth. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. That's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.